everyone, and welcome to my personal question and answer session here on Pleasure Beach Experience YouTube. I am of course Scott. It's mainly my channel. Do get a lot of help from Mike, Mark, Becca, Stuz and everyone else when they can. Of course at the minute we are in lockdown, which means that there's not been many videos on the channel for the last 10 days and I really apologise for that. I have had no motivation for new videos because we can't do anything. And we had so many ideas that even if the country was going to be on a bit of a lockdown that we'd have been able to do, but because we're on pretty much a complete lockdown, we've been very limited on what to do. So I posted on social media the other day about a Q&A session, and I've got my questions here on my phone, so I will be referring to my phone quite a lot. I will try and get everyone's names right who've asked the questions. Big thank you to everyone who has asked the questions. Really enjoy doing these kind of videos because it's a good chance to just sort of waffle really. So I'll get straight into it. The first question is from Mark Morrison. If you were to be in charge of SW9 at Alton Towers, what ride would it be? What would the theme be? And what would the secret element be? Now this is an interesting one really, because I remember going back to when the Wicker Man was just about to open at the Meet the Makers event, and I remember Alton Towers saying that they were going to go away from the world first kind of theme that they had going on with the secret weapon coasters. We've seen that with Oblivion, with Air, with the Smiler, and they were all world first coasters, even 13 as well, whereas the Wicker Man of course is not even close to a world first kind of ride. And I remember them saying at the Meet the Makers event that they wouldn't be doing world first kind of rides for their secret weapon projects anymore. Now of course with coronavirus as well, it's difficult to know how the parks are going to sort of be able to carry on in terms of investing in new rides, especially big new rides in the next couple of years. I do worry for all of the UK parks on that front, and I know that we all love to see new coasters and new ideas and new things coming to the parks, but I think for the next couple of years we've just got to support what we've already got here. In terms of SW9 though, it's a difficult one because I think Alton Towers have got quite a good variety of coasters, even if that variety of coasters are not the best of their kind. But I'd like to see a modern launch coaster, I think. Get rid of Rita, and just, I don't know if you would do a like-for-like replacement in terms of where Rita is, replace it with another launch coaster, because I think from a marketing point of view, that would be a difficult one for them to do. But either a multi-launch coaster, something along the lines of Taron, which is not tall, but has lots of like choppy transitions, lots of speed, lots of airtime, doesn't rely on an over-the-top element as such. It just has an amazing layout from start to finish, which so many people love. Has a good theme as well. I don't know about theming. I don't know what I would do with SW9 in terms of theming. I'm not a theming kind of person. I'm an amusement park kind of person. Just give me a good ride over a good theme any day of the week. But if I was pushed on a theme, just something different than what we've seen before at Towers, something a bit more vibrant, something like you'd see at Toverland, or just something that's a bit more of a happier theme than doom and gloom, dark, sort of that sort of thing we've seen a lot of from all of the Merlin parks. Well, I say all of them, we've not seen it at all of them, but mainly at Towers and Fort where they've gone with the darker themes. I'd go with something a bit more vibrant, a bit lighter, a bit more away from what we've seen in the past. I know I'm going to be told the Smiler's a happy theme, but that does my head in. So we'll move on to the next question, which I'm going to have to unlock my phone for. What I say is as well is I hope you're all keeping well in the lockdown, keeping busy as you can in the house, watching YouTube, playing on games, watching telly. Just, it's best to just do something. I found in the first few days that I was just sat on my chair going, I need something to do, so decided to get a little temporary job and just keep myself busy, become a key worker for the next couple of weeks, just to keep this ticking over and not going into complete boredom, to be honest. So number 2, question by Mark Garrison. What was the best unplanned park visit you have had? For Mark, it was Tivoli Gardens and Backen, unexpected but a great day. Do you know what, I've been thinking about this and this is a really tough one. There's so many great days, but I think recently I'm going to go with Kolmarden because it was totally unplanned until we got to Sweden, which was last year. we weren't going to do it. We were going to have another day at Leesburg, and we said, oh, do you know what? Let's get a car, let's go and ride Wildfire, let's see what the fuss is all about. And I think, even though it was a roasting day and those hills just did us all in, it was one of the great days of last year. But there were so many great days over the last couple of years that are unexpected trips. So that was one of them. I think going back a bit further would be when me and Becca went to Wallaby Holland in 2016, because we weren't planning to go until a week before. It just happened how it happened. We were supposed to be doing 2 days at Efteling, ended up that we did Efteling, Toverland and Wallaby. Not in that order, we did Toverland first. We did Wallaby. We didn't expect what we got out of it, and it was just a great park. Absolutely loved it. I've been a couple of times since. It's just a fabulous park. I think that is one of them that's up there as one of the best days that we've had in recent times at parks. But in terms of last year, Colmarden, I think, but that one's taken a lot of thought, and I'm really not sure if that's it, but it's the one that at this point comes to mind. So I'm going to go with that one, and I'm going to try and keep this unlocked and go to question 3. Question 3 by Sam. Sam Power says, favourite dark ride. Again, because of not being a big theming fan and more interested in just getting on a ride and it being good, this is a tough one. But in terms of a dark attraction, not quite a ride but a walkthrough, I'd go with Temple of Fire at Portaventura. When it's open, that is a stunning attraction. It is just fantastic. Other dark rides that I can think of off the top of my head, one that I really like is at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, obviously. The Ghost Train is a classic old dark ride, full of charm, it's just great, it's just full of it, it's just fantastic. So I think that for me is one of my favourite dark rides. But again, I'm not a dark ride person, I'm not a theming kind of person. I remember when everyone was saying that Portaventura really needed a big like dark ride. I know they've got one now in Street Mission, which, by the way, I've still not done because I've not been lucky enough to actually get on it when I've gone. And I've been there now 3 times since it opened, and every time it's had a 2-hour queue. So maybe I'm just unlucky with that one. But yeah, that one I will do. We're supposed to be doing it this month, but that's not going to happen now. Hopefully, towards the end of the year, it'll be a possibility. But yeah, not a massive dark ride fan, not a massive theming fan, so it is a difficult one. One that's just come to mind, I don't know if it counts as a dark ride, is Carousel of Progress at Magic Kingdom. That was brilliant in Florida, really enjoyed that one. There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow and all that. That's a ride that they can't ever get rid of. But yeah, I'm more of a coaster person, a water ride person, so it's a difficult one, but I wanted to answer the ones that get me thinking as well as the ones that are probably easier to answer. But yeah, I'd go with Temple of Fire, purely because even though it's not a ride as such, it is a great dark attraction. Question by Jonathan Bailey. You've probably had this before, but what is your most anticipated park that you've never been to? A mention to Jamie for asking a similar question too. Well, to be honest, until a few years ago, this answer would have been Cedar Point, and then it would have been Six Flags Great Adventure after we planned it last year. But now, it's going to be a surprising one, but I'm going with Kentucky Kingdom. The reason I'm going with Kentucky Kingdom is because I've seen it described as the airtime park, and all of their coasters have a lot of airtime, probably excluding the SLC. But yeah, apparently all of their coasters have a lot of airtime. Of course, they've got the RMC, Storm Chaser, they've got the Morgan Chance, the Chance Rides of Morgan, sort of mini hyper coaster, that looks full of airtime. There's Kentucky Flyer. It just looks like a great park, and I'm so excited to go to this park because, largely thanks to Coaster Studios' excellent documentary about how the park has basically come back from the dead about 3 or 4 times, where it's actually been closed, reopened, closed, reopened, and we're looking at, well, we are doing it on the America event next year, and I just can't wait to go. They're a fantastic park to deal with as well. I've spoken to the social media team and the events team at Kentucky Kingdom regarding our event visit next year, and they are just so friendly, so helpful, very, very welcoming. Ed Hart looks like a legend as well. It's just a park that it seems like it's a whole package. They've got very good people running it, they've got very good rides, it looks like a great, charming place to go, and I just can't wait to finally get there next year. I also want to mention though, I want to do more of the Six Flags parks. I know they've got a bad reputation, but I want to do Magic Mountain in California. That's one place I'd really like to go. Well, there's lots of parks I've still got to do. Hopefully I'll get out to them eventually. Of course, again, everything that's going on with the coronavirus, it's difficult to plan really where we're going to be at for the next 6 months, but hopefully I'll get to do a couple of those parks soon, and hopefully everything next year will go to plan, unlike everything this year, which is just, it's out of the window now. And once again, I've let my phone lock. Question 5 by Luca. If you had to replace any Mack thrill coaster with an Intamin multi-launch, which one and why? I'm going to go with a very obvious one here, which might surprise a few people, but it's obvious for me. Blue Fire, Europa Park. Yes, it's alright, but compared to Icon and compared to Helix, and I'm going to get onto this about comparing rides with a later question, but compared to those, it's weak. It's nowhere near as good as those rides. Should you compare them? We'll get to that later on, but I would definitely replace Blue Fire with Intamin multi-launch roller coaster, because it would just be so much better after the first launch if it didn't lose all of its momentum on the big overbanked corner. So yeah, I'm going with Blue Fire. Something like Taron, obvious choice I think, but yeah, that'd be a great replacement. Question number 6 by Michelle Stewart. Where is the first place you're going to go when we're out of a lockdown? Blackpool Pleasure Beach, all day long. I just can't wait. My little boy is desperate to go back to Blackpool. He keeps seeing this, and he keeps coming to me and Becca and sort of pointing at it and sort of giving it, because he's only 2 years old, so he can't exactly tell us, I want to go there, but as much as in actions and just sort of pointing at it, asking for videos, pointing it like, if we've got a Pleasure Beach top on or a PBE logo top on, he knows that it means Blackpool and he's desperate to go back. And so am I. I really want to go on the big one again. So yeah, it's 100% going to be Blackpool Pleasure Beach. But what I am going to do, once the parks are back open in the UK, I am just going to go to so many of them and just try and give them as much support as possible. Buy merchandise, film videos, talk about them on social media, and just try my best to support this industry in this country that we love so much, because if the parks are closed for too long, they could be on the brink of going out of business. That is just something that I am so worried about, and something that I am so desperate to support the parks for. As soon as they reopen, I'm going to as many as I can. Yes, I love going to Portaventura. Yes, I love going to Cedar Point. Yes, I love going all over the world. But here is where it all starts. It starts in England. It starts in the UK. And without these parks, I wouldn't have got my love for roller coasters and theme parks and filming roller coaster videos. It wouldn't have happened without the UK parks. So I really want to support them as soon as they get going again, which my prediction on camera, I could well be wrong. I've been wrong with many things in the past, and I don't really know anything about this virus. I'm going to say that I think we will be lucky if the parks are open by September. I really hope I'm wrong, but I think September, if we're very, very lucky. I think this lockdown will go on mid-June, maybe July. Social distancing will carry on after that. I think it's going to be a long slog for us all to just see this out, but we've got to stay home, stay safe, and hopefully we can enjoy the parks and enjoy everything that we love about the UK and going abroad and doing what we all enjoy, hopefully, in the next couple of months. But we've just got to stay safe and look after everyone around us first and hope that everything goes back to normal soon. I know I went off on a bit of a big speech there, but it just came to mind. So the next question is by Dylan Glendinning. What is your favourite flat ride that you've ridden? It has to be Loki at Leesburg, the ultimate Intamin gyro swing. It's just fantastic. If Blackpool Pleasure Beach could get one of those, I would be just so happy. But I know that, again, going back to coronavirus, with everything that's going on, it's going to be tough for that to happen. But yeah, please, just one of those in the UK, anywhere. There's just such a great ride. Now this next question is one that I'm looking forward to talking about. It's a question by Tracy. How different do you find theme parking now you're a parent? Does it change your perspective on what makes a good park? Yes and no is the answer to this one. I was talking to Becca about this before we did do the filming for this. When I visit a theme park with Becca and Charlie, I look for different things. I don't go there thinking, big rides, want to go on this, want to go on that, because I know that the opportunity in most of the parks that we go with Charlie at the minute are parks that I've already been to before, and if it is a new park, there is going to be an opportunity to do the big rides anyway. But when I go with Becca and Charlie, I do notice things differently. You notice how bad catering is in a lot of theme parks because there's nothing for children. You notice that most of it is just junk food, which of course you're going to get in most theme parks. And I'm not sort of aiming that at any park in particular, it's just the way it is. People want fast food. They don't go to a theme park to have a full sit down big meal. They go, right, I need something quick so I can get to the next queue line, get on the next ride. But yeah, you do notice things differently, definitely. It hasn't fully changed my perspective because I do most theme parks without Becca and Charlie. And as Charlie gets older, it's going to be easier to take Charlie on all the trips that we do for PvE, which will be great because it's going to be great to get him on the coasters. And I am always checking the height restrictions, especially when I'm thinking he's nearly 90 centimetres now. That means he's going to be able to get on so many more rides. He's already been on Blue Flyer at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. He's been on one of the Pinfari travelling coasters at the Iron Brew Carnival back in December. So he has been on rides. He's been on quite a few of the smaller rides in Nickelodeon Land as well at the Pleasure Beach. So yeah, it definitely changes the perspective. But when I sort of go without Becca and Charlie, then I just forget about checking things like height restrictions and what the catering's like and different things like that, because you're going on the big rides, I'm filming the big rides, and it's like when we went to Scion Park, we filmed all of the adult stuff. There is a whole family area that we didn't film because we didn't have Charlie with us. But next time we go to Scion Park, Becca and Charlie are coming with me, so it's going to be great to go and do all those slides with Charlie and Becca as well, and cover those in the vlog, and get Charlie and Becca in the vlog as well. So it does totally change the perspective when I go with Becca and Charlie, and when Becca and Charlie don't come on the trip. It's a great question, and I hope I've answered it as well as I could have done. But yeah, I do enjoy both sides of it now, really. It's a nice change to have when going to the parks, especially the Pleasure Beach, because one day I can go and do the big one all day, and then the next time I might go and do Blue Flyer loads with Charlie. It's a nice variety on visiting parks that I do quite often. So the next question is from Rodrigo. Do you think enthusiasts spoil perfectly good rides by comparing them too much? For example, Icon versus Helix versus Blue Flyer. Can't rides be good for a particular park, location and budget? I agree with this, but I agree with Rodrigo. I believe that we all do it. I am especially bad for it because it's like you'll go on Magnum XL200 and go, it's better than the big one. You'll go on another ride and compare it to another one. I am especially bad for it, and I wish I didn't do it because I would prefer to enjoy every ride as they are, for what they are, for where they are, rather than going, yeah, well, this is good in, I don't know, Pleasure Beach, but the one in this country or this place is better. It's too easy to do it, and I wish I watch back on some of our vlogs, especially like the ones from America last year, and go, why did I compare that to this ride? It's like when we went to Kennywood, I wish I hadn't mentioned Blackpool as much as I did, but I got drawn into it and we were all doing it all day, and it's something, when I watched about that vlog, from one of my favourite days at a theme park ever, I always think, kind of ruined that vlog by going on about Blackpool Pleasure Beach too much when it was unjustified to be talking about Pleasure Beach as much. But it's something I'm going to try and not do as much going forward in vlogs, but it is difficult, definitely. But a great question once again. Next question is from Simon. I very much like Swarm at Thorpe Park. Do you think any other UK park could benefit from one of these coasters? Honest answer, no, I don't, to be honest. Not because I don't think the Swarm's very good, because I think the Swarm is decent, but I'm not a big fan of them kind of coasters. I don't rate Gatekeeper at Cedar Point. I think that's pretty poor. Phoenix is really good at Toverland. I feel like I've done another one as well, but maybe I haven't. I can't remember. The Swarm is really good. It is a really good coaster, and it's one of the best in the UK. It's highly rated as one of the best in the UK, but I just don't. I think the same as flying coasters. I'm not big on them. I think I'd rather have something different. Yeah, I think they're good coasters, but I think the UK would benefit from some variety rather than having similar rides in all the same parks. Similar rides in all the different parks. We got there in the end. Question by Alan. Will we ever get a 500-foot coaster and wrapping one around a building won't count? In the UK, no chance. In America, probably, and it'll probably be Cedar Point, but when it'll happen, who knows, but I think it will happen eventually. Question by Sean Brown. What would you consider to be the strangest or most unique merch item that you own? Well, I'm going to do a big video about merchandise and ride parts and things like that at some point. Like I was saying earlier on, I just need the motivation, and now I've got it again, and I'm hoping to start bringing more videos to the channel and just not let this channel go to waste by just not doing anything during this lockdown. So I'm going to try and do as much as possible, and a big merchandise video is going to come. So, most unique part or piece of strangest merch. Oh, it's a tough one, you know, because I've got 5 Arrow wheels in my PBE office. I've got a chain link off the big one. I've got quite a lot of little bits and bobs off the big one which are just in my office. So I'd probably say the chain link, really, because when me and Becca bought the chain link, we didn't realise how heavy it was going to be, and it actually brought our trip to Blackpool Pleasure Beach that day to an end because we couldn't leave it anywhere, and we were just like, do you know what, we come here all the time. It was before we had Charlie. We were like, we can come again tomorrow. So that's probably the strangest one because it is so heavy. I will show that in the merchandise video. It's about that big, and it's just so heavy. You definitely wouldn't want to walk around a theme park with it. So yeah, I'm going to go with that because it is a little bit of a strange thing to have, definitely. Question by Lee Bailey, a really good question and a non-theme park related one. Tell us your top 3 films of all time and why you chose them. So Man of Steel is my favourite Superman film and probably my favourite film altogether. Henry Cavill, by the way, is the best Superman. As much as Christopher Reeve did a fantastic job with the classic cheesy Superman films of the 80s, Henry is the best Superman, and Man of Steel is a fantastic film. They should have carried on with it. There should be more that followed on from it, and I really hope that one day there will be. I wouldn't like to rank second and third, but I'm going to just go with a theme here, which is going to be really obvious. I am a DC Comics fan. You may have seen in videos in the past, I do have a Superman tattoo here, which has been on show in quite a lot of the Rider Cam videos we've done and water park videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to go with Batman. Massive Batman fan as well as Superman. Batman Begins and The Dark Knight have to be in this trio of films. They are both fantastic films, 2 of my favourite films to just sit, watch and enjoy over and over and over again. Christian Bale was an excellent Batman. I'm still not sure if him or Ben Affleck were better at Batman, but fantastic. Special mention to Daniel Craig and all the Bond films he's been in, maybe not Quantum of Solace, but he's a great Bond, and some of them just miss out. But as a DC Comics fan, they've got to be the top 3 films. I've got to say as well though, and it's not just because of who the actor is, the Wonder Woman film that came out in June 2017, that was fantastic as well. Me and Becca actually watched that in the cinema about 4 times, maybe even 5. That was a great film. So next question. Once again, I've lost the questions. I keep losing me where I'm up to. So, question by Samuel Johnson. What equipment do you use to produce your vlogs, from cameras to the editing machine or software? And what would you like to upgrade in your setup? So I use a Panasonic camera. The model of it is listed in the description below. And I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit the videos, which it's been a godsend of a program. It has been a massive help to improve the videos on the channel, and it's helped bring the transitions in and help me film in 4K. I do need a PC, so that is something that I would like to upgrade to. I do want a new camcorder at some point, but I think at the minute the priority is probably to get a PC, because as some people can't believe, I edit everything on my laptop, and I am still amazed I've not blown it up yet, because it does not like 4K. But it is a very, very high-tech laptop, but a PC would definitely make things a lot easier. So that is something that I would like to progress to, probably at some point this year. But again, we'll see how things go with coronavirus. The next question is by Carl, who also asks, what do I use to edit videos? So yeah, it's Adobe Premiere Pro. And the next question is by Chris Johnson, which is a football related question. Knowing you're a Man United fan like me, who is your all-time favourite player you've watched? Now this, as a 31-year-old, is a very tough question. I've been going to watch United since I was about 5-6 years old, so there has been Cantona, Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ronaldo, Rooney, all these great players. It's got to be Ronaldo though. Ronaldo was just out of this world. Yeah, Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Van Nistelrooy, Rooney were all fantastic players to watch, and Cantona as well. But Ronaldo, he was the best. He was just amazing. I was heartbroken when the news came out that he was going to Real Madrid. That really, really upset me at the time. So, yeah, I'd have to go with Ronaldo. And special mention, actually, Beckham was fantastic as well. What a player. This is something I'll have to ask Mike on another Q&A at some point, but he will talk about this for hours, you can guarantee it. Next question is also a football related question. What is your favourite Manchester United moment? I can't answer that. It's a difficult one because, like I say, we had 20 odd years of just being the best team, and now we're rubbish. So it's a difficult one to go with, really. But I think in terms of a favourite season, it would probably be 06-07 when we won the league back from Chelsea after Chelsea had won the league for 2 seasons running, and nobody gave United a chance because Rooney and Ronaldo had fell out at the World Cup. Van Nistelrooy had gone and everyone expected it to just be a dreadful season, and we came out, hit the ground running, battered everyone at Old Trafford pretty much, and it was a great season with some amazing memories with last minute away victories, winning at City and stuff like that. So I know it's not a general sort of PB question or thing that we'd normally talk about, but I didn't want this to just be a theme park related Q&A. But yeah, I like the question. It's just a really tough one. But of course 07-08 was great as well for the European Cup, but I think 06-07 was one of my favourite ever seasons, and I really enjoyed like 95-96, but that was as a kid. As a teenager, 06-07, and I think that one would still be my favourite overall, definitely. Next question is by George. If you could bring back any ride, what would it be for Alton Towers and Blackpool Pleasure Beach? For Alton Towers it'd be the log flume, but not at the expense of Wicker Man. I'd like to see the flume where it is, the Wicker Man somewhere else. And for Pleasure Beach, probably going to surprise you all with this because a lot of people would say the Wild Mouse, but I'm going with the log flume again because proper childhood classic. Absolutely loved that ride when it was at the Pleasure Beach. And I was absolutely gutted when it got removed, but it was obvious it was coming. We'd known about it for about 2 years and it was going to happen. It was just a case of when. But yeah, I still miss that ride now, to be honest. It really is missed at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. The next question is by Craig. Out of all the parks you've been to, what was the one perfect day where everything just fell perfect? You can choose 2 days, one in this country and one abroad. This is a tough one, Craig, and it's a great question, but it's a tough one. And I have thought about this as well, and it is a really tough one. I think in recent times, for abroad, it has to be the second day we had at Cedar Point last year. We had the Sunrise Tour to start with. Oh, now I'm doubting that. No, I'm going to stick with that. The second day at Cedar Point last year, we started the day with the Sunrise Tour. We then went along the boardwalk and got lots of shots of Magnum, and then spent the rest of the day just doing all of the rides in the park. The park was fairly quiet. We did have Fastlane Plus though, which meant we got on everything that we hadn't done on the first day, as well as everything that we wanted to go on again. The weather was beautiful. We didn't get sunburned. We were all on a high from the Sunrise Tour, so it definitely have to be that one. And in terms of the UK, I'm going to go with July the 7th, 2012, the first ever Club Pleasure Beach Experience event, when all the stars aligned and it was just the perfect Blackpool Pleasure Beach day. That was a great day. Really, really, really enjoyed it. One day that I would like to mention would be the Icon Media Day, but I wouldn't really class that as a normal day. It was something special and something different than a normal day, but that was a great day as well. And I need to scroll through the questions again. A question by Dick Bryan. I think I've pronounced your surname right there. I do apologise if I haven't. It now gets an awful reputation, and to be fair, it probably is a million miles away, from its heyday. But what do I think of Blackpool itself? I've got to be careful here. I love Blackpool for Blackpool Pleasure Beach. If Blackpool Pleasure Beach wasn't in Blackpool, I wouldn't go to Blackpool. I do like the sandcastle, that's fantastic. I like walking along the seafront as well. I enjoyed that aspect of Blackpool. I like to just walk by the sea, feel the sea air, just feel the freshness of that kind of environment. Pleasure. In terms of Blackpool as a whole, it's a difficult one, but I think for me, if it wasn't for the Pleasure Beach, I wouldn't go as often as I do. I wouldn't go at all, but it's just a great seaside place to go, and it's somewhere that I've always gone, and I think that's the best way I can put it, really. I think I like Blackpool for what it is, but I certainly wouldn't like to sort of venture too far away from the things I do in terms of Pleasure Beach, Velvet Coaster and the Sandcastle. I hope that answers the question without going too harsh on what is a place that has brought me many memories over many years. And finally, a question by Laura. If you were given unlimited funds and free reign, what would you do with Blackpool Pleasure Beach? This is a really tough one, and I think this is probably a video in itself, but to keep it brief for the Q&A, I would probably look at somehow getting the big one back on free trains, but only when it's needed for like peak periods. That is something that I would definitely do. I'd probably look at changing some of the ride lineup as well, maybe get rid of Ice Blast, get rid of Skyforce, probably Steeplechase, and just look at replacing them over time. I'd definitely make sure that the woodies stayed at the park. The Grand National would be modernised, no doubt about it. New trains, new operating system, probably a big retrack. That'd probably be a priority, to be honest. In terms of infrastructure, get rid of Noah's Ark, put a big purpose-built entrance in place, and just make it a more efficient entry to the Pleasure Beach. But I could genuinely talk about things that keep the same, change, and look at further on in, like, say, 10 years down the line. It's always something I think about just because it's what big fans of theme parks do. But honestly, I could definitely do a video about it, and I might well do at some point, get Becca involved, maybe when we're all allowed to be here again. Of course, I live with Becca, so I mean Becca can still do videos, but when we're allowed to see Mike and everyone again, maybe it's something we can talk about in a future video. But yeah, that is the end of the questions. A massive thank you to everyone who sent in a question. I hope I've not missed any. I'm pretty sure that I've got all of the questions. I know some of the questions were quite similar to each other, so I didn't put like duplicate questions in, but I hope that I've covered everything that was asked. If you do have any more questions for me, please let me know in the comments, and I will definitely reply. I always reply to every comment on all of our Pleasure Beach Experience videos. Stay safe, everyone. Keep watching the videos, keep watching all your favourite YouTubers, keep watching your favourite programmes on Netflix, your favourite films, and this lockdown will hopefully pass as quick as possible. But for now, everyone, stay safe. Thank you for supporting Pleasure Beach Experience, and I'll see you in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.